Hello, everybody. As always, we'll give it about a minute or two to allow more time for agents to join. In the meantime, we'll do today's Tech Tuesday poll, holiday treats. So while we're waiting for agents to join the party, let us know what your favorite holiday treat is, or which holiday treat wins in your opinion, cookies, pie, hot cocoa, or candy canes. We will get started in like another minute, and then we will have our final Tech Tuesday of the year. All right. Give it about another 30 seconds or so. I feel like these holiday treat selections are, circumstantial. Like hot cocoa can go with cookies, and then it's like a nice twofer when it comes to holiday treats. All right, let's see how our poll did. So cookies definitely win, but pie was a close second. And I feel like that's my ranking of things too. Candy canes, I'm not too much of a fan of. Unless they're like the Jolly Rancher flavored ones, then I'm more inclined to have a candy cane. Okay, thank you everybody for joining for our last Tech Tuesday of the year. Just a couple of quick announcements before we get started. As always, this webinar is being recorded and we will post it to CoachNet Academy for you to view at a later time. And we are going to move Tech Tuesday in 2026 to instead be Tech Thursdays. So that's starting January 8th. We will do Tech Tuesdays every other Tuesday at 1 p.m. If you have any suggestions for topics, anything that you would like to see covered on a Tech Tuesday, please do not hesitate to let me know or email dms@coachrealtors.com and we could try to add that to the calendar for you. So today we are going over how you could schedule out social media posts from MAXA to your social platform of choice, whether it be Instagram or Facebook. Those are the two that do allow scheduling ahead of time through a third party such as MAXA. So we will cover both of those today. You can follow along, of course. It is important to note that you will likely need your password for Instagram or Facebook. We do not know what they are. We do not store your passwords anywhere. So if you are not sure what that password is, you might have to follow the prompts to reset it in order to then give Maxa permission to post on your behalf on said platform. So if you are running into any issues with that, email DMS after today's webinar and we can walk you through how you go about resetting your password for a particular platform and then how to reconnect it back to Maxa. So we'll get started. So you do want to be logged in to Maxa, of course. And being that we are scheduling to social, that is considered digital. So underneath the digital menu on the left-hand side of Maxa, we do have various categories here, including market stats, coming soon, just listed, just sold, etc. You'll notice that they are primarily for transaction type of posts, coming soon, just listed, open house, etc. We also do have, if you scroll a little bit further down on the menu on the left-hand side, underneath events and campaigns, we do have some additional resources available for you here. Like, oops, not that one. Like we do have digital that can be found like under Children's Free Care Fund, the Gathering Good Food Drive, of course, that happened last month. Home Happens Here, we have a digital section. So you can find digital posts, social posts all throughout Maxa. Where I would like to focus primarily on today is the social on the go tab on the left-hand side, because this is also similar to digital. Social on the go is also going to be primarily social media posts or really only social media posts. That's why it's called social on the go. So what's different, social on the go versus this digital, is like I said, digital is primarily transaction related, whereas the social on the go is where you're going to be able to find things such as holidays. We have seller specific graphics in here, buyer specific graphics. We also have December social media content. So if you joined the Howard Hanna webinar that I co-hosted earlier this month on December 3rd, you might be familiar with these December social media content graphics that we created and made available to anybody that was on the webinar. But we now have it available to everyone that you can come in and utilize these very cute, adorable social media graphics that are primarily December/winter holiday focused. So, for the sake of example today, given that Tech Tuesday, we do try to keep it to a shorter, more digestible format. The examples that I go over today on how to schedule from MAXA are going to be focusing on this December social media content category. However, the steps when it comes to scheduling is going to be the same for any digital graphic. So whether you're under resources and you're looking to post a home happens here graphic, or you're under digital and you want to post a coming soon graphic, the steps to schedule is going to be exactly the same. But just for today's webinar, the example that I show you of content is going to be this December social media content. So to get started, I'm going to click on this for not first one. I'm going to click on this term one, and I'm doing this for a particular reason, but you can follow along with any graphic of your choice. So I click on create design, this preview appears, and I'm going to hit create design again. And then it brings me to my graphic and I am able to make some changes. The reason why I'm using this one as my example is because this one is one that you would need to edit. So some of those graphics underneath December social media content, some of them are ready to go. They're pretty straightforward. They're like stock imagery, like what's your home worth? You would just post this to your Instagram account and direct them to where they could find what their home worth is on your website. So some of these graphics that we provide you do not need to be edited. They're ready to just post. However, a lot of them do require some editing. So we just provide you with the template and then you come in here and create the content. So for this one, term, I should have come prepared with an example of a term that I can't think of. Let's do appraisal. So we could do, I'm opening up Google so I can get an actual Google definition. So I type in appraisal, and to make a change in MAXA, you double click on it, and then that'll bring your mouse in here, and you could backspace, you could type. You can use these font features up at the top to make some changes. The fonts that we do have available to you are coach only approved fonts. So you could come in here and change them out, have some fun with it. Maybe we want to make this a little bit bigger. Whoops, that's a little too big. No big deal. If I make a mistake, I can just hit the undo button up at the top. If maybe I go too far with my undo, I can hit redo up at the top and that'll bring me back one step. So you can come in here and change around. I can even, in this particular template, I can click, hold, and drag on the word that I'm looking to reposition so that I can maybe move it up a little bit. Maybe I want to expand it. This is always a good idea if ever your text is getting like cut off, to expand the box a little bit so that it all shows up on one line. So a lot of different editing capabilities. And then in this example, again, I'm creating a graphic that explains the term appraisal. So I'm going to open up a new tab like I did here. And I'm going to, whoops, just do appraisal real estate definition. And we don't want to copy exactly what AI creates. We do want to recreate this in our own words. So I'm going to copy it. I will paste it in here in my template, but I'm going to come in and make some changes so that I'm not copying AI to the T. I'm actually coming in and creating my own graphic. You can also, fun fact, utilize the AI feature within MAXA. So by doing that, you click on what you're looking to utilize AI for. So in this case, it's this text box. And then when I click on this text box, it highlights with this blue border around it. And on the top right of that, there's this AI button. So, what AI is offering here in this drop down is to assess the text that you currently have in there, shorten, expand, improve the writing, or translate to a different language. Or if we were looking to just have AI create something from us from scratch, we're going to click Write with AI, and you could put your prompt in here. Oops, I lied. You're going to put your prompt in here where it says Write with AI. Tell AI what you want to write. I always get like so confused on how to spell appraisal. It's like so many vowels, back to back. Right for appraisal, and let's see. I hit submit. It generates a definition, and I like it. I can replace the text that I have in here. Again, always with AI, you do want to assess it and make sure that it is accurate. And you do would want to consider changing this so that it is within your own word and sounding like you. So I'm not going to do that now to save on time, but it is always a good idea whether you're utilizing Google's AI, ChatGPT, or the AI functionality through MAXA. You do want to make sure that you are reading it for accuracy, but also to reword it and put it in your own words, your own language. Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of this noun box. Oops, it's not letting me get rid of it. There we go. And then if you have gone through the personal branding program, your logo will be added to many graphics that you see within MAXA. If you're not sure what the personal branding program is, or maybe you're not seeing your personal branded logo available here, email DMS and we'll get you set up with that. You can, it for some reason, it always shows up like super tiny, but you can click, hold, and drag on the corners to make it larger and zoom it out a little bit so it's a little bit more obvious here. Okay, so now I have a December social media graphic that I like available in Maxa underneath social on the go. I created it, I edited it, and it's ready to go. And I'm ready to finally schedule it and get it out onto social media. So the way that I'm going to do that is up on the top right, next to the left of my name and that bell, it says share. I click on that, and this pop-up appears, prompting me to select a platform that I would like to schedule it to. Or underneath at the bottom, it says other options, schedule. So I can go ahead and click on schedule. It's going to prompt me to put in or select a future date or time. And we could even go into next year. Not that I would do that because this graphic in particular has a wreath and is very holiday-esque. So I wouldn't schedule this for March, but you are able to schedule it throughout all of 2026. So that's a good idea if you're looking to build this muscle memory of how to schedule post from Maxa to your social media. Underneath that social on the go category, we do have a bunch of holiday graphics. So a good idea would to come into Maxa and set up those holiday graphics and schedule them out for future dates on the respective date in 2026. And that's a good way to start to practice how to schedule out in here. You can choose a different time as well. It does always default to be 8 a.m., but you can click on that and choose any future time, and then I hit next. And then it's asking me for which social media platform I want to share it to. So if you are not connected already to Facebook or Instagram, it is going to be grayed out here. And to the right of that, it's going to have this this blue connect link that you can click on. And what's going to happen here is a pop-up will appear where you would sign into that platform. So this is where having your password readily available for that platform comes in handy. So you would need to click on connect, log in. It's going to then bring you to that platform of choice. You would need to sign in. And basically, all you're doing is just giving that social media platform, excuse me, you're giving Maxa permission to use that social media platform on your behalf. The good thing about this is that this is a one and done setup. So once you connect this the first time, you will be good to go. However, if you do change out your password, it could interfere with this connection. So you might need to come back in and just follow those prompts. But as long as you're not changing your Facebook or Instagram password too often, you would have the capability to just set this once and then leave it as is. So with this step, I am going to select Instagram next. And here's where we come to this fun part of adding in our caption. So, with all of these December social media content pieces, we do have suggested captions that are going to be readily available for you. You might not see suggested captions fit into this caption box underneath a transaction type of post. You might not see it underneath like the home happens here. It's just for this December social media content. We went ahead and added some captions in for you so that you can utilize them if you would like, and then just schedule out your post and make it a little bit more fast and easy for you to get as much content out as possible through the rest of the year. However, of course, if you are not happy with the suggested caption or you would like to add more or take away, you have that option by clicking in this box and typing away or deleting as normal. Another great feature of MAXA is in addition to using AI to generate content for graphics itself, you can also utilize AI to write social media captions for you. So to do that, I would click on this AI button and another pop-up appears where I would need to put in my prompt. Um, what I like to show agents how to do is that you can also add in prompts like add in 6 hashtags, um, add in 3 emojis. So when it comes to AI, the prompting is the key to success. So remembering that you can utilize AI for features within a social media caption, such as emojis and hashtags, is a huge time saver. So I'm going to submit this prompt. I'll see what AI generates. Not terrible. Okay. Looks okay. Pretty happy with it. So I'm going to hit apply. And if you did want to make any changes, of course you can. You're not obligated to use whatever AI writes for you. And again, I always recommend re proofreading what AI does create for you that so that you can make sure it is accurate and sounds like you. Over time, the more you start to utilize AI, it will start to understand your tone of voice. So it will start to really refine the results so that it is more so sounding like you. But again, always best practice to proofread. So then once I'm happy here, I can go ahead and schedule my post. It says your design has been successfully scheduled to be posted on Thursday, December 18th at 10:30 a.m. I can close this pop-up or I could hit view scheduled and it'll show me my scheduled content. Now, if let's say you go through today and you start scheduling for a bunch of holidays in 2026 and you're like, did I schedule 4th of July? I can't remember if I actually did that one or I got, sidetracked with a phone call or whatever. Whenever you're in Maxa, up on the top left is this underneath dashboard, My Designs. It then says scheduled. So you can click on that and any scheduled content that you have for any future date will appear here. So you'd be able to see, okay, I didn't schedule for 4th of July. Let me go back underneath social on the go holidays, and I'll make sure that I schedule that out ahead of time. You can also, once something is scheduled, you can edit it before it goes live. So we would come into edit scheduling, and then it brings me to this dashboard where it shows me a preview of the graphic, the date and time that I have scheduled it for, my caption here, and then which platform I want to post it to here. So let's say you wanted to come in and you actually need to reschedule this for a different day. You have that capability. You can come in and make any edits to your caption. And then, of course, if you actually do not want this post to go live, you want to get rid of it, you can hit cancel scheduling, this red button on the top right. Are you sure you want to remove the scheduling on this post? Cancel scheduling, and then it'll bring you back to the schedule tab. And now, since I have nothing scheduled in the future, there's nothing here to be found. So, as a recap or overview of everything we went over so far, we focused on the social on the go category on the left-hand side of our MAXA menu. However, just remember that there are other categories available here with digital content that can be scheduled out on our social media platforms. But for today's example, we focused on social on the go, December social media content. Pick your favorite one by creating design, create design again. It brings in the preview, make any changes if any changes are needed at all. Remember, AI is your friend when it comes to making like descriptions or writing out how-tos or step-by-steps and what have you. Then once I'm ready to schedule, I'm going to click on share on the top right. This pop-up appears. I'm going to hit schedule underneath other options. I choose the future date that I want to schedule it for and the time. I hit next. I select the social media platform that I want to schedule it to and hit next again. And then this December social media content does have suggested captions, which you are more than welcome to use. Of course, you can make any edits or suggestions that you would like. We use, if you want to completely start from scratch, you can hit AI, write with AI, and put in your prompt here and submit it for AI to generate a caption for you and then apply it. Once the caption is available within this pop-up, you do have other features down here, such as expand. This will take what you currently have and just elaborate on it. It does take a couple seconds for it to review what you have and then rewrite the text. It's taking a lot longer than normal. The next button next to that is shorten. So again, very similar. It's just taking what you currently have and shortening it. And then we have a copy button if you would like to just copy all of this text. There is translate, but it's not coming up, and I think it's because it's currently generating the text. Another feature too is, okay, I'm gonna cancel. Another feature too is this caption suggestion. So this is instead of you clicking on AI and putting in a prompt, this is the system looking at what it is that you are posting and creating a caption based on that. So you can use the caption suggestion. If you don't like it, you can undo it, go back to what you originally had. So quite a couple different options here when it comes to writing out this caption for social media. And then once we're happy with it, we click on schedule post. It tells us our design has been successfully scheduled. We can go to view scheduled to see what we have scheduled. How many times can I say scheduled in a 10-second span? And if you want to make any changes to this, you hover over the design and hit edit scheduling. Here's where you can make changes to reschedule it if you need to, change out the caption. And of course, if you need to cancel it, you are going to hit cancel scheduling again, and then that'll remove the post from your upcoming feed. So that is scheduling post in from MAXA to either Instagram or Facebook. I don't see any questions that came through, but if you do have any questions about anything I covered over the last 20 or so minutes, feel free to either use the chat box or the Q&A. I would really, really, really love for you all that are on the call today. I'm happy that you're taking the time on this Chilly Tuesday to join this webinar and learn about scheduling, the best thing to do is as soon as we get off this webinar is to start putting this into practice because that is going to be how you help remember it and start to build that muscle memory. So we do have a ton of content in that December social media section. But then, like I said, we also do have holidays available, so you can start to schedule those out ahead of time. But I think that as the year comes to a close, you don't want to become a secret agent. You do still want to show up in the feed of your sphere of influence and make sure you're staying top of mind with anybody that follows you. And this content and this scheduling feature is a really great way to do so, so that you are still showing up, you are still staying top of mind. And you are really just scheduling this post out on a Tuesday afternoon, but you're still showing up top of mind on a Saturday morning when your winter home tips goes live. Is it only for scheduling or can you post immediately? You can post immediately. So we'll do a quick share of that. So with posting immediately, come on, Max. There we go. Okay. I'll just use this one, moving quick. So this is going to be the same idea. You're going to click on share on the top right and this pop-up appears, but then you're going to select the platform of your choice that you want to post to. So we're not going to click on schedule. We're just going to click on, in this, for this example, I'll just use Facebook. And then same thing here, it's going to look very similar. You're going to have the suggested caption that you can come in and make changes to if you would like. Use a caption suggestion or write with AI to give it a prompt. And then whenever you're ready, you're going to hit share, this blue button, and then that is going to go out instantaneously at that moment. One other quick tip that I want to make sure you are all aware of. Let me see if I can find an example. I don't think we have any too. I'm going to go to a digital example just because I want to make you all aware of, for some templates that we have in MAXA, they are carousel. This is when you post on Instagram multiple pictures or videos in one post. Here's an example. This is the cover or the title page or post, and then you can use these arrows to go through. So this is all one post. We're just using the arrow to go through the carousel of images or videos. So some of our templates in MAXA are going to be labeled carousel, meaning that there's a second or third image within the post. So when it comes to sharing to social media, I'm going to go through quickly just so I can get to the step. When it comes to hitting the share button on a carousel post, you select the social media platform of choice. It is crucial that you, under page, select page 2 and 3 or 4. Some of our designs, have multiple pages. Some are just 1 or 2. So you do need to select that second page. It defaults to only be that first page that would share. So this second page wouldn't actually show up in your carousel. Sometimes that's fine. Sometimes agents don't want to post all of the images within the carousel. They really just want to post that first image. So then in that case, of course, you would just leave it as page 1. But if you are looking for that second, third, or fourth image to also post alongside of it in a carousel, you would need to select that here. So just something to make note of as you are working through this and building this muscle memory. It's going to be the same process underneath scheduling. It'll say pages and you need to select 1 and 2. So hopefully that helps. Okay, I don't see any other questions that came through. So it is 1:30. I do like to try to keep this to 30 minutes or less. This was recorded and will be available to you all on CoachNet Academy later today. This was our last Tech Tuesday of 2025. So thank you all for participating, showing up, and increasing, your tech skills week after week and month after month. We will be starting Tech Thursday on Thursday, January 8th at 1 p.m. And then same thing as this year, it'll be every other week. They will, of course, be recorded and available to you all at a later that afternoon. So we will keep the trend going in 2026 just on Thursdays. And as always, if you have any recommendations for topics that we cover, please feel free to send them my way, and we'll do our best to add them to the schedule. If I do not talk to you beforehand, I hope that you have a fabulous holiday season, a wonderful new year, and I look forward to continue working with you all in 2026. So have a great one. I'll talk to you all soon.